Hey, what's up everybody? Destroyer here, back with another cast of the Rise of the Witch King, patch 2.02. So, today we'll be looking at a 3v3 on Dagorlad. And I played this one, so I will be in this one. And it probably won't be a pro game, but, you know, still fun. Still good to watch. So we got Destroyer as myself, I always say that wrong. Whatever, I'm Mordor in the middle, top right there. Top right we have vic-chan as Mordor as well, and he's my partner, and my last teammate here is Raango, which is Isengard. Bottom left here we have SimPC, which is the Dwarves. And we have the middle player, his partner Nordmannen as Angmar, and Striker as Isengard. So, Isengard, Angmar, and Dwarves versus two Mordors and a Uruk-hai, or Isengard. I just called them Uruk-hai. Same thing though, really. So let's see. Let's see here. I chose the Eye, so I am spying with my Eye of Sauron to get some intel. Seems Creedbane was chosen by Raango to do the same thing, probably, as intel is pretty important. Striker, this guy, has also chosen the Creedbane, and he has used his to scout as well. Let's take a look at players' starting things here. I'm opening up with the Orc Pit, not Urk Pit. This player, who's this again? Raango. Raango is opening up with an Orc Pit there. Upgrading it to level 2, going straight for Warg Riders. And I'm sure he will capture this in some point as well, as that would be quite convenient for him. And where is the last base there? There it is. Orcs from an Orc Pit coming out from vic-chan as well. Not to be nothing too surprising there from Mordors, as you might imagine. Orc spam is very good in patch 2.02. We have Isengard throwing down a what is this called? Clan Steading, and begin putting out lots of Wildmen. Wildman spam is pretty strong. It's definitely stronger than Orc spam. As are Gundabad Orcs, as we see here, from Angmar, as he has put down a Hall of the King's Men, and we'll begin putting those out. And the Dwarves, looks like they're going for the Hall of Warriors with some Guardians. Does he have any guys in there yet? Nope. He does have some Phalanxes, though, who looks like they were rally called. So that will be his power, I'm guessing. Yes, definitely is. And the Warg Riders will begin killing this stuff to capture that in there. Looks like I have a Orc Pit and going for Orcs, and I'm also upgrading my Haradrim Palace to level 2, so I will be getting Corsairs of Angmar or Haradrim Lancers. Probably Haradrim Lancers, as you might imagine. Let's take a little scuffle over this outpost here. The outpost is very valuable. Looks like Angmar has claimed it, though. And he has chased me off as well. So Angmar will hold that, and he will be getting resources quite nicely out of that. Got some Orcs fighting some Wildmen here. Wildmen will definitely get the best of that exchange, as Wildmen are more powerful than Orcs are. And Gundabad Orcs are definitely more powerful as well. Even when I have my Orcs under my eye, they still get killed by these Gundabad Orcs. They're just that much stronger. So that sucks. But I do have some Lancers out in the field now. That will definitely help deal with these Wildmen and these Gundabad Orcs. Or Gundabad Warriors, I guess they're probably called, aren't they? Also have some Axe Throwers there. But will be quickly trampled by the cavalry there. So cavalry is definitely a good choice. Looks like we have an attack going down there. Isengard is beginning to attack the bottom left player there. Let's go back over here for a second, because the blob on the army looks bigger. Or the blob on the map looks bigger. Lots of Wildmen. We do have some crossbows from Striker as well. This is Striker, right? Ah. So hard when the units move. Yeah. Normally I'd be prepared, and I know their names, but I'm just doing this cast on a whim, so I haven't memorized any players' names, and my memory's like a goldfish. I don't even remember what day it is most of the time. And looks like Angmar is actually amassing a lot of troops in the middle. I could be in a bit of trouble here. I do have some orc archers on the field now. Sure, pretty handy. Also having more lancers there. Also still have my other lancers. Looks like someone got a little too close to the fire drake. Probably Angmar. Angmar is losing a lot of guys there. Fire drake, you gotta watch out for the fire drakes. They're definitely dangerous. It looks like me, in conjunction with vic-chan's Mordor army, cleaned up that attack nicely. There's some dwarves here being attacked by wildmen. Dwarves doing a good job of killing a lot of them, actually. As these dwarves are very, very tanky, and I think they're rally called as well. But there is an overwhelming amount of wildmen there, so you won't be getting too much done. The good thing about dwarves is they're very untrampleable, if you'll notice. Like, they got trampled. These are swordsmen. But they don't take a whole lot of trample damage, which makes them very, very nice against cavalry. Even if you get caught out of position, you still don't really lose your army there, which is quite useful in most situations. It looks like I do repel Angmar's attack. And we have a troll, mountain troll with a stick. He'll begin swinging his way at these wildmen eventually, or these crossbows potentially. Definitely want to be careful not to go into these pikes though. Looks like he's doing just that. Kind of staying on the outskirts though. Taking a pike to the butt. Hopefully that doesn't get him killed. But he will die to those crossbows, of course. Let's go up here. Looks like there's a little scuffle for that signal fire. The dwarves have claimed the signal fire, so their powers will recharge faster, which is always a nice thing to have here. I'm surprised it doesn't actually say how long. Like, it says decreases the power recharge times, but it doesn't actually say how much. I don't actually know the exact percentage of what it does, as I forget. I did know at one point. But oh well. Looks like I'll be pushing forward here on Striker. I forgot the middle player's name though. Nordmannen, of course. As he is the only one I've kind of forgot. But Striker will have a bit of a problem to deal with here, as I do have a good amount of orcs. I do have some Rodrum Lancers there as well. Don't deal with any archers, but I do have to be careful because there are pikemen in these army, in the army there, making words, one word at a time. Seems there's some Isengard troops in vic-chan's base here. Striker could potentially get... he probably won't get this. But taking out farms is pretty crucial. Controlling your opponent's economy and their command point limit is pretty important. I tend to get command point locked quite a bit, which can be quite annoying. There's lots of dwarves here. So dwarves looking pretty fearsome. Definitely don't want to mess with them too much. But the wildmen will begin running around as they can outrun the dwarves. And taking out mine shafts here and there. We do have some Dark Rangers from Nordmannen. Angmar Dark Rangers are very, very, very good. So those will be quite useful for him, as you might imagine. Especially against orc spam. And he does have snow trolls as well, which usually you don't see so quickly, but snow trolls are actually very effective. They're basically cavalry. Whatever. And he'll begin pushing forward on my base once again. Looks like I don't have much in the way of defense. There's guys everywhere on the map. It'd be a wonder if I can keep track of all of it. Looks like we got a couple of mountain trolls throwing rocks. Pretty effective. Probably the best way to use them, I'd say. As they're not very tanky. They're a little bit, but they do good damage with their throw a rock ability. As it's very good at crushing units. Good run through there on the Dark Rangers, killing quite a few of them. And finishing off the rest. So good call there by Raango, sending his Wolf Riders there, Warg Riders. And I'm amassing an army here, but Angmar is also amassing an army here, so looks like I will be forced to retreat. Get a few more troops. Let's go up here. Bit of a scuffle. Dwarves are trying to take out some furnaces, possibly take out this lumber mill. Wildmen are trying desperately to get rid of them though, and they will succeed. without too much loss there. Oh, the Dark Ranger's getting caught out in front. Immediately getting trampled by these Roger Lancers. Looks like most of them will go down. Looks like some Dwarves actually coming up here to join the fight. And we have a big Mordor army there and a big Isengard army. Looks like they're about to collide. Looks like I have sent my cavalry to help my ally here, but I have to be very careful, or else they will run right into this porcupine formation of pikes. And yeah, these mountain trolls. We actually have a drummer troll. Unexpected. And there's an army in the middle here as well. I'm starting to get attack trolls now, so that'll be quite nice. Yes, hello, kitty. Okay, where was I? Ah, I do have Easterlings now as well. Looks like I'm getting a mountain troll of my own. Ah, Wildmen being summoned down. Right on top of the Dwarf army there. We've got Berserkers mixed in there as well. Ooh, all these Wildmen have torches. They're going to be doing a massive amount of damage here. Let's take a look at the powers while we can. The Dwarves right here. Some PC has Rebuild and Rally Call. Striker, the bottom right player, has Devastation and Prebane. Almost has a level 10 if he wants it. Vic-chan. Ooh, God, this fortress is going down fast. Looks like Sim PC is going to lose his base. Ouch. Anyway, Vic-chan has a barricade, and that... God, that went down really fast. Gotta be careful of those Wildmen, apparently, with the torches. Angmar player in the middle bottom has Fell Wind. Just about has enough powers for another power. Looks like I have Arrow Volley and then we have Wildman and Prebane for the other Isengard player. Alright, let's go over here. I'm sure we all know what's happening in the bottom right at the moment. Actually, there's action going everywhere here. Looks like I'm trying another attack. Probably not going to do very well. Seems my Mordor ally is doing pretty well, though. He does have a lot of Orc archers here. Lots of Orcs here. He also has Gothmog. I think that's his. Yeah, that's his. I don't know if I have a hero yet. Ooh, there's alerts. Very wounded. He has to be careful. This attack troll could kill him. But I do have to get him out of there. As an attack troll was not enough. Looks like the Dwarves are trying for a counterattack. Not quite going to cut it, as there's lots and lots of Wildmen and some Ward Riders here. Berserkers as well. Definitely enough to stop any Dwarf stragglers from getting into the base. But the Dwarves are not dead yet. They still have a couple hull of warriors there. So they're still in the game, at least. And he does still have his builders, as you see. There are a couple around here. So we got Karsh. Is that Karsh? Yeah, I'm pretty sure that's what his name is. Ooh. Ouch. Was that arrow volley? Long shot. I always get them mixed up. Long shot being used to my troops. Weaken them a little bit. I think it killed a battalion, actually. Not too sure. Let's take a look at my base real quick. Continuing to get Easterlings. Attack trolls. Orcs. That's pretty much what I'm spamming at this point. Oh, we got the rain. Rain is actually really bad for us here. So Isengard purchasing rain. Where is that? Rain in this patch is very devastating for the opposing, the enemy team. Covers the map in rain, reduces enemy armor and damage, nullifies enemy leadership. So not only is Gothmog not using his leadership, which I mean he doesn't have anyway yet, but now all our armor and defenses are weakened for everyone across the map on my team. So it's a very, very powerful power, actually. And you definitely want to get rid of that with Darkness or Cloud Break immediately if you can. But as you see here, it's still raining, so not going to happen. Also have a Prince Brand just coming into the fray, apparently. He's level 1. Harsh still level 1. I'll begin losing some slaughterhouses here. Ooh, Fellwind being thrown down on my army, throwing my trolls and everybody around there. Looks like some Wildmen were summoned in, but I turned my trolls immediately around to start whacking them. Trying to save as many of my troops as possible. Unfortunately, I will lose a lot of trolls and a lot of men there. And this rain is really not helping my army here. As you might imagine, it's definitely bad. We've got black orcs out from vic-chan. Black orcs are definitely the upgrade of orc warriors, as they're quite strong. Got Saruman out for a striker, though. That'll definitely prove useful. Saruman's very powerful. We also have a warg sentry here being deployed. Those are actually pretty good. It seems the dwarves are actually pushing back. He's starting to muster up a bit more. He has another hall of warriors. And he's pushing forward on Raango. Looks like I'm being pushed back as well. Possibly in a lot of trouble. There's so many Dark Rangers here. I need cavalry and I need it bad. Or a miracle. One of the two. And I'll begin losing my slaughterhouses and stuff in the front. Which is not ideal. Attack trolls are great, but if I can't actually get the attack troll to them, it doesn't help. Oh, and we have Wildman summoned right on top of the Dark Rangers. As well as the Warg Riders from my allies. And they will just slaughter those Dark Rangers. Definitely good teamwork there. So my allies got my back. And you definitely want to have your allies back in a team game. I think it's very, very important that you play as one, more or less. Not just everyone 1v1 each other on separate parts of the map, because that doesn't really help you in the long run, I don't think. Unless you manage to kill off someone, and then it becomes 3-on-1, or 2, or whatever. We have Uruk Deathbringers from Raango. Pretty good unit. Let's get a real good look. They've got a very horny helmet. Yeah. Let's go over here. What level's Lurtz? Lurtz is level 5, so he does have his leadership now. That'll prove annoying to us, I am sure. At least the rain has stopped, so my team is not as weak as we once were. Prince Brand up to level 3. We have some Dark Rangers still on the map. Level 7 Karsh already. You can teleport to a selected area. All nearby allies suffer 33% minus speed and take slight damage over time. So being near Karsh is actually pretty bad. Huh. I've never actually used this hero before, really. But apparently he's pretty good. And yeah, Mordor is actually making a bit of ground here. On this player Striker's base. The Isengard player in the bottom right. Although it looks like Striker's actually pushing forward into his base as well. This guy should be really bad for vic-chan, as we have a war-chanted, very scary Isengard army right in the middle of all his buildings. So he'll definitely lose his orc pit, he'll definitely lose his furnace. That's not a furnace. Slaughterhouse. Probably lose his troll cage as well. Doesn't look like I have anything to assist him with either, except for an attack troll who's trying to chase off these guys here. Will probably quickly be killed by a Karsh. Yeah. It's like arrow volley going down. We'll actually kill a good amount of guys there. But meantime, he is actually taking Striker's fortress here. He's gonna manage to get it. He has a lot of archers that aren't really helping. You should really take these archers and target the builder, as the archer damage on the fortress isn't gonna do anything unless they have fire arrows. So killing off these builders would have been a good idea. But nonetheless, will he manage to actually take the fort? Oh, the attack troll's dead, the drummer troll's dead. It's gonna be really, really close. Let's go back up here. Ah, I have the Witch King now. And it seems we have fended off, for the most part, the attack as he is running back to his base. And he does lose his fortress. So Striker losing his fortress will be a huge blow to the enemy team. And as you see, one of the halls of warriors from the dwarves is still over here. Dwarves don't have a fortress as of yet. And now 2 players can't use their powers on the bottom team. As you might imagine, that's not good. As that Isengard player had a lot of good powers they could have used. Although he did manage to use the rain beforehand. Unless that's our teammate. Nope, that's this player here. Apparently Angmar has freezing rain as well. I wasn't aware of that. I mean, I knew that, but I forgot. We have Feel the Fires from my ally here. Raango. Feel the Fires is an excellent buff to your economy. Isengard's economy just steamrolls once you get a game going for any amount of time. And as you see, I've been playing the Witch King to do good damage. Actually, he's dying pretty quickly here. I'm going to need to get him out of there. Get my cavalry in there quickly. Looks like I managed to lure them away. Ah, Felwind being used on my cavalry though, knocking them down quite nicely. I will need to retreat my Witch King. I don't lose him because he is a fortune to buy. I think he's like 5,000 resources or 4,500 if you have the thing or whatever. 4,000 something, I don't remember. Looks like I didn't have Doom Pyres at the time, so it won't be decreasing the cost, so I paid full price for him apparently. But yeah, things looking bad for the bottom team, it's gotta be said. Although a fortress is being thrown back up by Striker. That's definitely the last thing we need, is another fortress by the enemy team. We do need to press our advantage. But we are having trouble as there's a decent amount of Dark Rangers here. With some, these guys have armor, don't they? Yeah. Hill Trolls, the armor upgrade, very tanky. As they're also anti-cavalry, so the cavalry will be dying quite quickly there. Looks like Angmar from the top left is trying to assault Angmar, or Isengard player. The top left is trying to assault the Angmar player in the bottom middle here. Doesn't look like he's going to get a whole lot done, but his heroes are getting some levels. He's also using his Uruk Deathbringers, but they are dying pretty quickly there. And Isengard's fortress is about 50%, so it will be up soonish. Dwarves still don't have a fortress. Even if they did, they probably wouldn't build it. Well, would they build it back? What is he building now? Just my shaft. So. Okay. Yeah, I think Mordor needs to push in as soon as possible. Or vic-chan here. Because if we don't press our advantage, we may be in trouble. And I do lose my attack trolls quite quickly, and they are very expensive. Dark Rangers just kill them so fast. And we do have Karshir, level 9. And Witch King is doing a lot of damage. Inflicts massive damage on a non-undead unit. And the Witch King died, like, immediately. I think this actually worked on the Witch King. Unless he counts as an undead unit, and he just died anyway. But I don't know. Karsh, level 10, though. Definitely very powerful. I know he's very good at killing heroes, so I'm going to assume he killed the Witch King, because that would make sense. Gothmog leading the armies of Mordor here against Isengard. In the bottom right. Will he manage? Ooh, he's getting a cripple strike on him. Gothmog will probably get killed there. That's unfortunate. Gothmog's always the first to fall. The army leaving him for dead. And Isengard pushing forward on the dwarves once again. Looking to finish the job. But there is a decent resistance of dwarves here. He does have pikes, he does have guardians, and as I said before, they're not very trampleable. As you see, lots of them being left with no health. As they were probably trampled multiple times. But it seems Mordor's attack has been repelled by Isengard. And Angmar is looking to push into my base once again, it looks like. He's just spamming Dark Rangers, like, insanely. And my solution was catapults, or Black Riders as well. I thought those would be pretty good. I do have Mouth of Sauron now. He could be useful. Mouth of Sauron's pretty good once you level him up. With his Descent and his, what's the other one? Doubt. Yeah. Very good. I mean, the Evil Eye is great too. I don't actually know how good Evil Eye is in patch 2.02. I've never used it, or seen it used. I know in version 1.06 of Battlefield Middle-earth it's pretty bad. And version 1.00 of Battlefield Middle-earth it's freaking amazingly overpowered, so I'd like to know where it is in this patch. I have no idea. I Just try it out sometime. But Isengard pushing forward, taking out his slaughterhouse there. He will begin devastating the armies of Mordor. Uh-oh. Looks like my Mouth of Sauron is going to be in a bit of trouble. Wildmen being summoned down around him. Also a Morgomir there. Didn't see him until now. And yeah, they easily killed my Mouth of Sauron there. Bad loss for me there. Dwarves hanging on, but how long can the Dwarves hang on here? Is the question. Ooh, Dwarves losing a builder. That's going to cost him. I don't know if they have any more. Possibly the Dwarves have lost their last builder? I mean, they used to have one over here. I don't think they do anymore. Oh, we have a dragon. Whose dragon is that? That's my ally in the top left, the white dragon. Summoned down on the army of Angmar. Or Isengard, I mean. I guess there's Angmar troops here too, as well, actually. And they fended him off quite nicely. Looks like he'll begin moving him probably down. Gotta be careful with the Fellbeast, as Fireball does a lot of damage to the Fellbeast. And it looks like Isengard will finish off the Dwarves over here, at least. Dwarves won't be dead, though, because he does have structures in his allies' base. And unfortunately, Isengard's base is fully up and running once again. Fully operational. Even got a wizard tower on it. So you can begin casting lightning bolts. There's a Gorgoth Spire here. Looks like it was used at some point. But we're definitely going to need some catapults if we're going to make any headway here. That is understandably clear, as far as I'm concerned. I have upgraded all my orc pits so I can begin spamming black orcs. As you see here, I'm doing just that. Definitely want to be using black orcs instead of orc warriors, as they're much stronger. No reason to keep spamming. Plus my economy is probably much better, as I do have a industry, I think. Let's take a look. Oh, summon Shaded Wolf from an Angmar player. Yeah, I do have industry. I'd like to see the Shaded Wolf. I don't even know if that went down in the game. If it did, I didn't see it. I'm kind of curious as to where he will use it. Looks like Dwarves are helping defend his ally here, because Isengard has cleaned up his base over there.
We are the elite.
I'm gonna wait until that power is used before I switch off his camera. Although it may never be used. I'm sure I won't miss it. So let's go back. Obviously it will be wherever a giant battle is. We do have the Witch King out from Angmar as well. Very good Witch King. Fighting my Witch King, actually. Which Witch King is superior? I don't know. Probably the one on the horse in a fight on the ground, as he is on a steed and the other guy isn't. But mine can fly, so potentially on a one-on-one, I could hit him and he couldn't hit me back. So that would make that Witch King more powerful. So I'm taking out the Fire Drake layer in the middle, as I probably lost a few troops running by it, which can be quite a pain in the ass. The ring actually being claimed by Isengard. That could be bad news. And we have a barrage coming down, actually killing the guy who had the ring. Bringing nothing but ill fortune. Ooh, nice lightning bolt. Thunderbolt. Killing lots of guys there. Let's go over here for a second. Seems Isengard's trying to push in. Taking out a good amount of rangers there. His Deathbringers leading the charge. I don't know if Deathbringers need to be in a attack formation though, or whatever. Gothmog going down once again, only having the ring for a short amount of time, or dying once again. Have I got any catapults yet? No, doesn't look like it. Like I said, stressing. We do need catapults. Ah, as you see, the Fire Drake once again burning some troops. It's a real pain when you walk your troops by the Fire Drake. But we are attacking Isengard. I do still have my Witch King. Thank goodness. Although I don't know for how much longer. As he's taking a lot of damage here. Angmar is coming to support his ally. There's a giant white blob of Isengard. Looks like Isengard's going for something siege related. That could be interesting. And it looks like my Mouth of Sauron will once again die in vain. I did not control my Mouth of Sauron in this game at all, really. I just kind of built him and sent him in and he died. And that just shows my poor skills. But, whatever. I'm not a pro. And I never claimed to be. Maybe someday. But Angmar and Isengard looking pretty strong here. It's going to take a bit to crack this nut here. We do have catapults finally from vic-chan, as well as some drummer trolls. I usually don't see drummer trolls used, but I do think they are pretty good if you can use them, utilize them correctly. As leadership for your troops, obviously, is very nice. And this is just crazy. Isengard going unopposed here. He's going for level 3 siege works. Potentially, oh, he's going for mines. That could be devastating. We'll see how that is used. I would love to see a nice mine finish, as I think mines are always a blast, if you know what I mean. Nice little defensive setup here on the signal fire. Although oddly enough, he doesn't control the signal fire, so he's defending a signal fire he doesn't control. Possibly he might want to capture that, because that seems kind of silly. Witch King is still here. Looks like my partner's fell beast still alive, but only just. And I will get a run through here on the Dark Rangers, killing lots and lots of them. Witch King also getting a lot of smash on them as well. Was swooping down. Did you see a shadow? There's the other fell beast. He does have to be careful with that. There's the Shade of the Wolf, finally being used. And dying pretty quickly. Huh. He must have used it somewhere else and he ran over there, but I don't know. Didn't seem like it did a whole lot. Wildman being summoned in the back of Isengard's base. We begin whittling away at this siege works. Or Iron Forge. Doesn't look like he'll get it though, as there is enough defense. But he is amassing mines. And that will only end badly for one player or the other. If a player was to actually take those mines out while they were over there, that would be disastrous for Raango, the Isengard player at the top left. See Thunderbolt being used on my army pretty effectively there. Almost killing the attack troll, killing most of the troops. And as you see, the power of Angmar's heroes, the Witch King and Karsh, is very strong. Morgamir also very strong, but he doesn't. I don't know if he still has him. He didn't have Rogash though this game. Rogash, very, very good. And I do have Black Riders, which are also quite nice, but I do need to keep them alive or not use them how I'm using them. They're good at killing archers, no doubt. Against heroes, maybe not. Not sure. So Isengard will begin pushing out again. We take out that catapult. Possibly that was our catapult. Hopefully we didn't take out that catapult. Looks like Isengard's getting ready. Oh, he actually built Sauron. That's right. I forgot about that. The Dark Lord himself has arrived. There he is in all his glory. So that is going to prove quite nice for him. And going to make things very, very difficult for the top team, my team. The beacon being thrown down by some PC. I think he knows Isengard is coming. And here he comes. Question is, though, is this a diversionary tactic? And it looks like it is. He does have archers of fire arrows. He does have tons of mines here. An overkill amount of mines, in fact. Looking to lure the army to the bottom left with his full army. Doesn't look like he's actually falling for it, though. But it doesn't matter, as there's just so many mines here. There's no way he can stop them all. It would be literally impossible to take all these out. Oh, God. And that's the good thing about these. They're using icy arrows. They don't actually detonate mines. But these certainly do. And down goes the fortress. Oh, man. Nordmannen losing his fortress to a ton of mines. The mines probably could have been spread out a bit more to probably instantly kill the player. But nonetheless, he's basically destroyed Angmar there. Let's go back over here as Sauron is here. Still hasn't used his Fires of Doom. Looks like a barrage was used recently, though, to decimate the Isengard army there. Isengard throwing up some walls, as he is quite frightened. Things are looking very bad for the bottom team, as you might imagine. Dwarves are basically dead. Angmar is basically dead. And it's only a matter of time before the Isengard player is dead as well. But he does have Sauron, so it will prove to be a little more difficult than you would imagine, or than we'd like it to be, I'm sure. And Nordmannen has been defeated. So Angmar is now out of the game. And that pretty much spells doom for the bottom team. And Dwarves are basically out of the game, as all they literally have is this Hall of Warriors. So it's only a matter of time for Sim PC is dead as well. Shouldn't take much, as I don't even think he has a builder. Pretty sure his builder died a while ago, and that's probably the reason he doesn't have anything. And we do have catapults. Looks like I have a couple here. So we'll get through these walls without much trouble. Straight to the dwarf's building. Trying to use the tower there. Let's get a little Sauron action before this game ends. Sauron kicking the crap out of Gothmog. Like Lurch is killed there. Lots and lots of orc archers. Sim PC has been defeated, so dwarves are dead. In comes the Fire of Doom, obliterating my vic-chan's orc archers. There are 2 flying heroes, and Sauron can't actually deal with that. Sauron has 0 way to deal with that. The Dragon Strike going down, actually killing one of the Fell Beasts. Killing the Witch King, in fact. So managing to hit it with Isengard firepower. That was pretty impressive. Or just maybe a bad play by me, who knows. But now we have catapults on, and I have lots of upgraded Black Orcs on the Fortress of Striker. And Striker will lose his base here. Undoubtedly. Sauron is way away from home. Also still being hit by a Fell Beast. And then comes a dragon. Because who doesn't love dragons? Everyone loves dragons. Gotta be careful though. We'll actually burn a few of my guys here. So there's only 2 buildings left. And then that will be the end. And there you go. Striker's been defeated. Sauron exploding. Sending everyone flying. And that is game over. So yeah, well played to everyone in that match. I thought that was fun. We played quite a few free-for-alls, or 3v3s that day. And I will be uploading a few of those. So yeah, I hope you guys enjoyed that. Now see you in the next cast of the Rise of the Witch King, patch 2.02. See you next time.